Okay, so today we'll be continuing on with prime factorization. This is what we were doing on our last in-person learning day last week. It's kind of what we were doing towards the last half of the hour where we were factoring out numbers into only prime numbers. Couple quick reminders. The end of the trimester is coming up, and it's coming up really soon. So please continue to work on all of your current assignments and also continue to work on any missing assignments you may have. Also, if you can please pull out your multiplication and your prime numbers chart that we gave you guys on your last in-person learning day for math last week. We are going to be using the prime numbers chart and the multiplication chart for today's ed puzzle and the assignment too. And if you may have already lost yours, there will be one posted on Schoology for you guys too. So you can open those up in a separate tab. Quick review for you guys. A prime number, we remember, is a number that only has two factors. It only has two factors. So 13 is a prime number because it only has two factors. And those two factors are 1 and 13. Those are the only two factors or the only two numbers that we can multiply together to get 13. And lastly, prime factorization is factoring a number down until we are left with only prime numbers. All right. This may look familiar as to what we were doing last week towards the end. We were factoring out our numbers using a factor tree. So this is what we were doing last week. And we remember last week we started with 2's. 2 times what number equals 24? 2 times 12 is equal to 24. Now we got to ask ourselves, is 2 a prime number? So look on your prime number chart. 2 is a prime number, so we can circle it. We know it cannot be factored down anymore. How about 12? Is 12 a prime number? No, 12 is not on our prime number chart, so we can still factor 12 out. 2 times what is equal to 12? 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Now we got to ask ourselves the same question. We already know 2 is a prime number, so we can circle it. How about 6? Is 6 a prime number? No, it's not. So 6 can still be factored out. 2 times what is equal to 6? 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Now we need to ask ourselves, is 2 a prime number? Yes, it is. And is 3 a prime number? Yes, it is too. So now we have all of our prime numbers circled and the bottom row consists of only prime numbers. We can write it out. We got 1, 2 times another 2 times one more 2 times 3. So what we do when we write that out is we're just writing it, all the circled numbers, as multiplication. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And if we check our answer, these numbers up here, if we multiply them together, we should get 24. So we know 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 3 is 24. So we know that is going to be correct. All right, let me erase our board here and then we will move on to the next problem. All right, now that we've got it erased, let's move on to the next problem. All right, off to the left here, this is what we just factored 24 out into. And we can have, these should be circled because they were our prime numbers. So what we have here on the left is exactly what we just did. And over here to the right is going to be our factor tree template. So we are going to be using this template to factor out every number. So we'll be factoring out 24 still. And I know you guys may have been asking yourselves, there's more than one way, or there's more than two numbers to multiply together to get 24. And you are exactly right. There is more than one way to get 24 by multiplying two numbers. Instead of 2 times 12, what are two other factors of 24? Or what are two other numbers that we can multiply together to get 24? So we'll get your multiplication charts and look for the number 24 and see what two numbers its row and column is in. I know that 8 times 3 is equal to 24. Now we got to ask ourselves a question. Is 8 a prime number? So is 8 on our prime number chart? No, it's not. So we can still factor 8 out. But let's check 3. Is 3 a prime number? 3 is on our prime numbers chart, so we can circle 3. Now let's factor out this 8. What are two numbers that we can multiply together to get 8? 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Now we need to ask ourselves the question, is 2 a prime number? 2 is a prime number, so we can circle it. Is 4 a prime number? No, 4 is not a prime number, so we can still factor 4 out. What are two numbers we can multiply together to get 4? 2 times 2 is equal to 4. We already know 2 is a prime number because we have one circled up there. So we can circle that one too. Now that we have all of our numbers in the bottom row circled, which means they are all prime numbers, we can write it out. We already have it written out, so let's just double check. We got 1, 2, another 2, another 2, and our 3. Our 3 got kind of messed up here. Let me rewrite it. Oh, that's a goofy 3. But as you can see, it doesn't matter what two numbers we start with. Over here we started with 2 and 12, and off to the right we started with 8 and 3. But no matter what, if we factor them down into prime numbers, we'll always get the same answer. So we started 24 off with 2 and 12 over here on the left, and we just did 24 by starting it off with 8 times 3. Let's try one more for 24. 6 times 4 is equal to 24. 6 a prime number? No. Is 4 a prime number? Nope. 4 is not a prime number either. Both of these two can still be factored out. What are two numbers we can multiply together to get 6? 2 times 3 is equal to 6. How about 4? What are two numbers we can multiply together to get 4? 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Now we got to ask ourselves, are these numbers in this row here prime? Is 2 a prime number? Yes, it is. Is 3 a prime number? Yes, it is. We already know 2 is prime, so we can circle these ones also. And now that we have the bottom row all prime numbers, we can see that it still matches 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So it doesn't matter what numbers or what two factors we start with, as long as we factor them out and ask ourselves the question, is it a prime number? No, we can still factor it out. We will always get the same answer. All right, now that we have that erased, let's try one more. We are going to find the prime factors of 12. What are two factors or two numbers we can multiply together to get 12? And if you don't know off the top of your hand or off the top of your head, you can look at your multiplication chart and find the 12 and see what row and what column it is under. For this one, we can try 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Is 2 a prime number? Yes, it is. So we can circle it. Is 6 a prime number? No, it's not. So we can still factor 6 out. What are two factors of 6, or two numbers we can multiply together to get 6? 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Now we have to see if those are prime. We already know 2 is a prime number because we have it circled up there. So we can circle that one too. And how about 3? Is 3 a prime number? 3 is a prime number, so we can circle that one also. And now that we have our bottom row all circled, we can write this out as multiplication. 2 times 2 times 3. We know 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So 2 times 2 times 3 is the prime factorization of 12. And you may also notice you will not always use all of these boxes, so don't think you have to use all of the boxes. All right, let's get this erased and we will try one more problem and that will be it for today. All right, now that we have that erased, let's try our last problem for today. We are going to find the prime factors of 20. What are two numbers we can multiply together, or two factors of 20? 5 times 4 is equal to 20. Now we have to ask ourselves, is 5 a prime number? Yes, it is, so we can circle 5. Is 4 a prime number? No, it's not, so we can still factor 4 out. What are two factors or two numbers we can multiply together to get 4? 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And is 2 a prime number? Yes, it is, so we can circle it. And if we can circle that one, we can also circle that too. Now that we have the bottom row all circled, or they're all prime numbers, we can write it out as multiplication. So 2 times 2 times 5. And we can check our answer. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 times 5 is 20. Awesome job. Let's get this erased here real quick. Okay, so I just want to go into what your homework will be for prime factorization. So your homework will be due on Wednesday, November 25th, which is this Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. The homework will be posted on Schoology, and it will be in the form of Google Slides. So every time you open it up, or when you open it up, you will have your own individual Google slide, and you will be typing your answer in there. So here's the directions for the assignment. Step 1, get a piece of scratch paper to use for a workspace. Step 2, you're going to copy the slide or problem on your scratch paper. and you are going to work through it and solve them. Step 3, you're going to double click in the Google slide to type your answer in the square boxes. You're going to work through every slide, and then you will submit it on Schoology. And a couple things to remember. Remember to use your prime numbers chart if you are wondering what numbers are prime, and to also use your multiplication chart to help you find the two factors of a number. And also, when we do prime factorization, we're factoring a number down until it only contains prime numbers. And lastly, remember you will not or you won't always be using every box on the assignment. And here's an example of what your assignment will look like. I know you guys might not be able to circle the prime numbers, so you can highlight them instead. And then type your answer right next door. There will be areas for you to type in and say type here. So that's where you will click and type. All right, everybody. I hope you guys all enjoy your Thanksgiving break. And I hope you guys come back after Thanksgiving ready to finish out the trimester strong.